Hello dear children, in this video we will discuss the second chapter of civics, federalism. Let us begin by understanding what is federalism. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units of the country. In this sense, federations are contrasted with unitary governments. Under the unitary system, either there is only one level of government or the subunits are subordinate to the central government. The central government can pass on orders to the provincial or the local governments, whereas in a federal system, the central government cannot order the state governments to do something. State governments has powers of its own for which it is not answerable to the central government. Both these governments are separately answerable to the people. Now, children, let us discuss the features of federalism. Number one, there are two or more levels or tiers of government. Number two, different tiers of government govern the same citizens, but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, that is, lawmaking, taxation, and administration. Third, the jurisdiction of the respective levels of government are specified in the Constitution, so the existence and authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. The fundamental provision of the Constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of government. Such changes require the consent of both the levels of government. Courts have the power to interpret the Constitution and the powers of different levels of government. Sixth, source of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified to ensure its financial autonomy. Seventh, the federal system thus has dual objectives: to safeguard and promote unity of the country while at the same time accommodate regional diversity. Therefore, two aspects are crucial for the institutions and practice of federalism. Children, there are two types of routes through which federations have been formed. The first route involves independent states coming together on their own to form a bigger unit so that by pooling sovereignty and retaining identity, they can increase their security. This type of coming together federations include the USA, Switzerland, and Australia. In this first category of federation, all the constituent states usually have equal powers and a strong federal government. The second route is where a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government. India, Spain, and Belgium are examples of this kind of holding together federations. In this category, the central government tends to be more powerful than the state government. Very often, different constituent units of the federations have unequal powers. Now, children, the next topic: what makes India a federal country? As we all know, that India has more than two levels of government, that is the union government, state government, and local governments in form of panchayats and municipalities. Secondly, each level has its own jurisdiction, which is clearly mentioned in the Indian Constitution. The next 3 points also add up for giving India a federal structure. That is, the Constitution clearly provides a threefold distribution of legislative powers between the union government and the state government. This is in form of 3 lists. Number 1, Union list includes subject of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication, and currency. They are included in this list because we need a uniform policy on these matters throughout the country. The union government also can make laws relating to the subjects mentioned in the union list. Second is the state list, which contains subject of state and local importance such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture, and irrigation. The state government alone can make laws relating to the subjects mentioned in the state list. Concurrent list includes subjects of common interest to both the union government as well as the state governments, such as education, forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, and succession. Both the union as well as state governments can make laws on the subjects mentioned in this list. If their law conflicts with each other, the law made by the government will prevail. Children, there are some subjects like computer software that came up after the constitution was made. According to our constitution, the union government has the power to legislate on such subjects. These are known as residuary subjects. With this, we end the first part of the chapter Federalism. Thank you and God bless.